Which is one of the reasons why when we learn, sometimes when we have classes that overlap, we like to bring in alumni to kind of help out and just make sure that there's always somebody there to answer questions. And so that was one of the reasons why we reached out to you, was because of how you connected with people in your cohort and just how we saw you in the community, that we knew that you would be a really great teacher and eventual mentor to the people going through the class.
Yeah, thank you. And for me, it was a really, really huge opportunity. I will say I was really happy when I got the Slack message. Not because it's a job, but I felt like it was a additional opportunity to keep learning. And I'll say it again, I learned way more than the students did, because you don't know how much you know, and you don't know how much you don't know until you're actually forced to give a lecture. It's I thought I knew something, and then I'm like, all right, let me just go write up a lecture. I'm like, man, I don't know this at all. Let me go study this a little more so I can actually go up there and if they have questions, I can actually answer those questions.
Yeah.
It was tough. My first day, I remember telling Sarah, I hope no one asks me questions. Please don't ask me questions. But that quickly died down. Once I did my first lecture and I start gassing myself up, oh, I can do this. I'm really good at this. God. And to this day, I still talk to a lot of those students. And it's one of those things where it is emotionally draining, but it's in a really good way. At the end of the day, to see someone that was struggling to understand a concept, to actually understand a concept at the end of the day, it's I'm looking at myself all over again.
Sure.
So I would say it was definitely a high point in getting me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
That it was not only interacting with the students, but you guys as a staff, how you guys operate, what was expected of the teachers, it kind of made me a little more serious.
But we're not serious all the time.
Not all the time.
And we didn't make you work time.
You did not make me work time.
I was thinking about what you said, that actually something Matt said about letting you kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, there's probably a good chance that Matt knew the answer.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the hardest things for our instructors, is to make that shift of I really want to tell you this answer.
Yeah.
One, because that's the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
And two, it makes me feel good because I can show you that I know the answer, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the best thing for the student.
For sure.
Right? And that's such a hard shift.
It is. And as a student, it drove me crazy to walk to Matt, Jez, or Sarah. I'm like, hey, can you help me with this? And then Jez drink her coffee. And I'm like, so what are you trying to do here? I was like, I've been stuck on this for 30 minutes. Can you please just help me? But that pain that you're going through is it's very essential to learning. If she would just give me the answer, or he would give me the answer, I would have probably just, all right, plug it in, and it wouldn't register in my brain. But that struggle that you have to go through, it adds an extra layer of learning, because you remember that pain of oh, I remember when I went through this, I did blah, 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 and it works now. So definitely the hardest, I would say the first day or two, I was just you need help? Here's an answer. But I was over with that. But as you see them getting stuck on the same problems again, you realize that you're actually hurting their learning, because they're oh yeah, Dante just told me to do this. Let me just go back to that code. But they're not understanding why that is actually working. Right. So definitely by the end of the week, no one's getting answers from me. I was just sitting down with them, and I'm like, all right, what's the struggle, man? Tell me what's going on.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, I think it helps way more. You don't understand how much it helps in the moment, because you just want the program to work. But at the end of it, you will see I'm glad that I had to struggle for an hour just to get a button to actually fire.
Right. Yeah. I think that from our perspective, is something that we've always you want to walk that line.
Yeah.
You don't want to get to the place where students are struggling so much that they get like flooded and lost and like can't function anymore, which sometimes happens. But you also don't want to feed them. Yeah. You can't feed them the answers over and over again.
And I think like as an instructor, everyone has their own like pain tolerance, where like I will let a student struggle a little more because I know he has it in him, whereas a person that's been struggling like maybe for 2 or 3 concepts, I don't want them to keep struggling because they're going like, I didn't get this, now I'm not getting this. So like there's a real fine balance, and I have to like applaud the teachers and instructors to actually like know that balance for each student, because everyone's different. Like I can struggle for 8 hours and they're asking, would you finish? Like, oh, I just have my button working. But someone like me, or someone that's opposite of me, maybe like after 5-10 minutes of researching, they just need to answer because they're at that point. So it's definitely you have to know like each and every student, which I find fascinating as an instructor.
Yeah, it is a hard thing to get to know everyone as quickly as we need to get everyone, and understand how to push them. Yeah. And also support them.
For sure.
So yeah, I think that we've worked a long time in trying to figure that out. Yeah. And mostly like how to train our instructors so that they can do that. Yeah.